What are you looking forward to the most as the season begins?
I think that the improvement of the athletes from last year to this year is probably the most exciting part. We're starting to understand the concepts of what we're trying to teach them, and they're evolving because it's a large amount of returners.
How has the preseason gone so far?
Preseason was a little bit of a challenge the 1st of January with the weather that Indiana had, but the athletes did a good job of overcoming and adapting to having a different practice every day than maybe what was originally scheduled. But they did a good job, and starting to see results from their work a month ago.
Who are some returning players you are expecting to be leaders this season?
On the men's side, I would say that Michael Nash and Landon Marshall are probably, and they're both high jumpers, but they do other things. And they both came in on a mission this year. They have big goals for themselves. They were good scorers in the conference last year, but they want to win. They're motivated to get the team to be more functional and more focused. On the women's side, I would say that returners are probably the twins, Tamara and Tanisha English. One sprints and hurdles and the other one throws, and between them they are the social directors of the women's team. And they get people to have a good time at practice and be here and motivated because it's fun to come.
What are your expectations for the season?
I think that we have several athletes in both genders that can compete in this conference and at a strong level. And that's one of our main goals, is just how many athletes can we get to score at the conference meet. It's always kind of the building structure.
Who are some newcomers you're expecting to make an impact?
The real only real newcomer on the women's side is Esther Vasquez, and she's a JC transfer out of Kansas, and I think she could create an impact in our program. She's a hard worker. She brings a different mindset of what good is, and should have a good shot at breaking a few school records by the time we get her to compete on a regular basis. It took a little while to get her through eligibility. On the men's side, obviously, Emmerich Randolph has already broken our school record in the mile twice as a freshman, and the 2 times he's run it a little bit better. And so he's probably the freshman guy that's going to create a real impact in the men's side.
What are the strengths of this year's team?
I think the strengths of this group are that between the 2 genders and individually as genders, they are very inclusive and like each other. And so they're doing a good job of just having that good chemistry, being supportive, and continuing to be positive about getting better.
What are a few things you need to do as a team each day to be successful this year?
I think that the group is doing a good job of that consistency, of trying to do things every day, but they've upped their game a little bit from last year. The returners on being more focused when we do a lot of our auxiliary stuff, our core, our weight training, some of the side stuff. It's easy to be focused on the track, but it's a little more challenging with the other things that you do on a regular basis, and they can become a little bit repetitive.
What is it about the River States Conference that makes it tough?
I think at this point there's a few schools that have a little bit more of an established program, and the numbers game, we're still working on building our numbers up, and so because we are on the smaller side, it's a little challenging at the conference meet. We just don't have enough people scoring in enough events. but the ones we have are doing well at what they do.
How do you see the conference shaping up this year?
It's an interesting change with Point Park gone out of it and moving to D2, but I think that Rio and Kokomo and IU East have upped their games to contest in that vacancy of the defending conference champ, and so they're kind of the halves in the conference, and the rest of us are trying to build our numbers and get closer to them.
Thank you for joining the River States Conference Media Day. Be sure to follow all the exciting action this season on riverstatesconference.com and GoMightyOaks.com.